1 Timothy 2 verses 9-10. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array, but, which becometh women professing godliness, with good works. With yesterday's share, this is unheard of, in your lifetime. Have you ever heard a news report, an entire herd of cows, horses, camels, and pigs going insane? Even those words never appeared. At best, they're scared. You've never heard of an animal getting nervous and jumping into a river. That never happened. And so, when I came to that conclusion, the idea behind it is a complex one. First of all, I want to eliminate the influence of Satan on humanity during these 2,000 years. Second, to replace the tests that Satan has put on us over the past 2,000 years, the setting must be a UFO. The reason, by the end of our session, with science as the most significant test, science has become the God of humanity. Science and God are like opposites, as if you believe in science, you can't believe in God. God's plan for the last 2,000 years, except for the human beings at that time, it also becomes humanity's greatest test at the end. Of course, all of this is worth it. Because a lot of people are born or come to Christ a few years later, the world will end, so, this setting is for them. So, in our time, I am not suggesting that Satan is out of his mind to cause trouble everywhere, because this only happens after the rapture. Then, the earth will be filled with monsters that rise from the underworld, such as Abaddon, locusts with scorpion tails, etc. Why did they appear then and are now unheard of? Why? For 2,000 years, we can pretend that Satan has not yet been created. In fact, Satan's raw material, human beings, were born in these 2,000 years. During this time, we will not make fun of ourselves, we don't team up to test ourselves, so, we're just at this point. Hearing the Lord Jesus speak of what Satan and the fallen angels had done, they generate it themselves. For the evil of Satan and the fallen angels, they give birth to themselves. But isn't that what these days are all about? For the last 2,000 years, we have heard of Satan's existence, the deeds of the Lord Jesus in casting out demons and the Egyptian magic of Moses' time, but, in the 2,000 years we're here, none of these things ever happened. The Bible clearly records, because the coming of the Lord Jesus leads to the coming of the kingdom of heaven. The coming of heaven suppresses everything in the underworld, and delayed for 2,000 years. These 2,000 years are recorded in Daniel's 70th 7. It can be said with certainty that, when I shared the parable of the kingdom, without thinking about how to interpret 2,000 years, I know it exists, but I don't know why it exists. The Bible calls these 2,000 years the kingdom of heaven. At that time, I didn't know that there was a lot of common information that confirmed, and the role reversal between UFOs and evil spirits. For 2,000 years, the main force that controls and runs the world, it's a UFO crafted by us in time travel. Therefore, our rapture will be the most significant test, bringing the most tremendous change to this era. It can also be regarded as an excellent entry point. Why? Because when people suddenly saw UFOs destroying America and Russia, if anything else happens, people will believe it. Because that's what the movies Pacific Rim and Godzilla say. Now that all this has happened, even if someone tells you, a giant Godzilla emerged from the underworld, you will also believe it. You will believe even more bizarre things. Because, during that short period, the trials, the lack, the fear, will arise. You'll see comets hitting the Earth. A third of the ships on Earth and a third of the ocean were destroyed. A third of the grass and trees were burned. At that time, the whole land was riddled with holes, and the situation was crazy. Then it was said that the underworld would be opened, evil spirits come up from hell, etc. To put it simply, in today's civilized society, a lot of people don't believe these verses, do they? But why hasn't this happened for 2,000 years? For the Lord Jesus subdued the power of hell, freeing the kingdom of heaven. The miracle performed by the Lord Jesus is a demonstration. It's just, when the power of the underworld is suppressed, a new theological school was born in the church world. These villains claim they don't need a miracle now. Think about it, why don't we need a miracle now? In the time of the Lord Jesus, why does the world need miracles? People all over the world, including the Pharisees, need a miracle. For 2,000 years, why do humans create some theological sects, claiming there's no need for miracles now? Have you ever thought about that? These 2,000 years must be utterly different from the previous 4,000 years. Therefore, they can speak out this fallacy and even make a living doing it. 1 Timothy 2 verses 9 to 10. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array, but, which becometh women professing godliness, with good works.
United as one, we don't care what's in our way. We're marching on, come what may. We walk hand in hand with God's living word. Here we stand, united in God, with our eyes still set on the prize. We'll gladly give our lives together, my friends, together until the end, until the end. The titles and fancy words vanishing with the wind was never about the glory, never about the fame. Though we've had our ups and our downs, I know, yes indeed, our faith is still standing. There is no mountain, no wilderness we shall not break. United as one, we don't care what's in our way. We're marching on, come what may. We walk hand in hand with God's living word. Here we stand, united in God, with our eyes still set on the prize. We'll gladly give our lives together, my friends, together until the end, until the end.